Wait, what was that middle part?
Yeah, at the LADbible.
You're at the
The
LADbible.
LADbible.
Okay. I'm Matthew McConaughey. You are at the LADbible. I'm going to sit here and answer a few questions.
Right, cool. So, how are you enjoying your time in the UK at the moment?
Very well, man. It's nice to be over here to talk about something that I had such a great time making and doing, man. A little film called Gold. Got in early, went over and checked on my good friend Woody Harrelson, who just had a live feed of a film he wrote, produced, and directed. A live feed, one take, one camera to 500 theaters around the world. Got in early for that, and then been speaking Gold and singing for the last 2 days.
Nice. So, for the film, for your role, you put on 3 stone. So talk us through your diet and how long that kind of took to gain that weight.
6 months, whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted it. My rule was, whatever you want to eat or drink, 24/7, you can say yes to. And if you second guess yourself, McConaughey, you must have double. So all of a sudden I was 47 pounds heavier.
Wow.
And I enjoyed all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So losing the weight,
Yeah.
was that a bit harder?
Sure. A whole lot less fun. Yeah, because quite a bit of what I put on, I noticed what I thought was renting to own. So I had some spots on me. I was like, that may be me for the rest of my life. So no, not as much fun taking it off. But it took about 5 months to take it all off.
Wow, cool. So you've kind of done a lot of training before for like roles like Magic Mike. So what is the regime to kind of like get back kind of ripped?
To get back, well, first I had to kickstart it, which meant I went on a 7-day fast just to kickstart my body to head back south. I mean, you get older, I notice it's more and more diet than it is even exercise. So it was more about, amounts of food, bringing those down from 3 cheeseburgers and a 6-pack to, piece of fish and some pasta and a salad. It took a while. And I wasn't in a rush to get it back down because I didn't have a role that I had to be skinnier for, but I did have a role that I needed to be 45 pounds less for.
So you're bald in the new film. You have no hair. Do you have any advice for guys who are losing their hair or kind of thinning on top?
Yeah, man. There's a couple ways to go. I had a silver dollar bald spot here 18 years ago and found this topical stuff called Regenex, which hasn't worked for anybody else I've turned it on to, but it damn sure worked for me. And so every night I rubbed my hair to get the circulation going, and damned if my hair didn't come back. It came back. So much so that a rumor got spread that I had gotten hair transplants. And I talked to this guy who did transplants, and I met him in the street in Beverly Hills, and he comes up to me and goes, I've been hoping I would run into you all my life. I go, why? He goes, because the last 10 years at the International Hair Transplant Convention, we always put your picture up on the slide and say, who out there did this man's hair transplants? And for 7 years, nobody raised their hand. He goes, but the last 3 years, there's a Swedish doctor who said, I did it. And I started laughing. I go, he did. He goes, can I look at your hair? And he looked at my roots. He goes, you haven't had hair transplants. I said, no. He goes, I'm going to bust that guy's balls next year at the next convention because I did not have hair transplants. The other thing is you can go the way my friend Bobby the Coop said. He's a guy who was losing his hair and all of his friends were giving him hell about it. And all of a sudden he shows up completely shaved. And I said, what'd you do it for, Bobby? He goes, because now I'm all face, baby.
So just on another couple of like roles you've played, True Detective is like a massive, big fan favourite for a lot of people nowadays. Would you ever consider kind of reprising your role and going back for a 3rd season, 4th season?
I'd be open to it. I mean, that script was so well written and that character had such identity, man. If that showed up again and was the quality of that first one, I'd definitely be open to it.
Amazing. So also on another film, at the end of Interstellar, you see Coop fly off to try and find Brand. Would you love to kind of be in an Interstellar sequel?
That'd be nice. Haven't thought of that one. I haven't even spoken to Mr. Nolan about that one. But yeah, it is sort of set up for a possible sequel, isn't it? I'd sure consider that.
Cool. So obviously you've won loads of awards over the past few years. What performance are you most proud of?
Kenny Wells in Gold is my favorite character I've ever played.
What's that?
Hands down. Oh, man. I mean, he's such a life force, man. I mean, they don't make many movies about the Kenny Welleses of the world. He's usually the sidekick or the sidekick. And this is a bio of a man who's at the bottom of the barrel, a man who didn't get a ticket to the American dream. But by hook or by crook, he's going to hustle his way into the American dream, through the side door, the back door, down the damn chimney. And he literally chases a dream he has. He has a literal dream that he chases, buys a one-way ticket to Indonesia off a hocked watch, and makes it happen.
So obviously there are some performances you're massively proud of. Are there any kind of films you appeared in earlier on in your career that you kind of look back at and go, oh God, why did I accept that? Or any sort of, not regrets, but kind of like embarrassing kind of roles?
Fortunately, no. I'm not arrogant enough to be embarrassed about any of my past work. I mean, I got to remember that me, like many people out there, were trying to act. You take what work you can get, and you'd be damn honored to be going to work. Shoot, when I first fell into acting, and I was doing it, having a great time. They paid me $325 a day, and people were saying, "Hey, you're pretty good at this. Will you come back tomorrow and do it some more?" I was curious if it was legal. I was like, I really feel like I'm getting away with something. I still feel like I'm getting away with something. I know I am. So there's nothing in my past that I could boo-hoo and say, "Oh, geez, I can't believe I did that." But I'm happy to be able to say that.
Cool. So Wolf of Wall Street looked like it was a lot of fun to film. What is your favourite and most fun you've had kind of filming? Most fun
filming? Well, I've never had any more fun than I did with Kenny Wells in Gold. I'm going to bring it up again, even though you haven't seen it. You'll be seeing it February 3rd, hopefully. I had such a good time with this role. I mean, it was parts of, one, it was a true story. Two, there were a lot of parts of this guy that was who I thought my dad was when I was growing up. There was a lot of parts in this film for characters that my dad introduced me to. My dad would take me around the country. We'd drive, go office to people that owed him money. And as a 12-year-old, if you bring your 12-year-old along, that can coerce some people into paying you back. And along those road trips, I would meet some characters in shady deals that my dad would do, the Kenny Wells of the world. And I just felt like I saw and understood this guy from the inside out, from the get-go. And I already miss him. I miss Kenny. I'm glad he's locked in film forever, because I sure do like the guy.
Cool. So one dream I've always had is to, the bit in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Can we do that together?
Yeah, we can do that. Now, you know what that is?
What?
That's a relaxing technique. That's something I do just to entertain myself before a scene, just to relax. And it was Leonardo's idea for me to put it in the scene, which I did. So, yeah, I usually have a different rhythm for different roles, but that one was ready? You gonna thump? Are you on camera? You don't get to see him do it? You've seen me do it.
I'll film myself do it.
Okay, ready?
Right, we ready?
Ready? That's it.
That would be a dream come true, that.
That's it.
Okay, I think we are almost done here. If you'd love to kind of sign off with an all right for our audience, I believe that is something you'll...
Sure. First words I ever said on film, 27 years ago. Sitting in a 70 Chevelle, listening to Ted Nugent, riding next to Slater and Shotgun, going to pick up the redhead intellectual. I knew I had 3 out of 4 things that my man was about. And when they said action, I said, all right. Pulled out and got the 4th.
Thank you very much.
All right, now.
Cheers, man.